Hi everyone, welcome to my April vlog. I hope you've had a good month. It's been a strange one for us all with the coronavirus, and for us it's been a little bit odd not welcoming any of you here in person to come and connect with nature and the herd. Although it's been great connecting with you through social media and through some of you working with me virtually with the herd, which has been a really good experience, and the herd have been amazing, even though you haven't been here with them in person. So for us, that side of things has been a little bit strange, but like I said before in my last vlog, nothing else has changed for us in terms of our day-to-day life with the herd and with the surrounding nature here. We've very much been carrying on in that normal routine, because nature just carries on. There's no change for nature. And through this month, this middle transitional month of spring, as we head towards summer now, a lot has gone on, because it's been about looking after the land and some of the damage caused by the horses in the winter. It's also been about connecting with the new buds that are coming through, some of them providing food for us. So it's been nice to go out foraging in that sense. And just to walk you through a little bit about what we do this time of year. Cam and I are really passionate about allowing the land to remain in as natural a state as possible. And whilst the horses are our main focus here, it's also about acknowledging that there's a lot of other wildlife that live here too, and we really want to encourage that. We don't want to discourage that in any way. And it's also about acknowledging that the more you allow the land to do its thing naturally, you will attract more different types of wildlife and insects. And so we've been really keen to try and follow this model, but also got to a point where we recognise there are some things where we are still intervening on the land, and we're going to have to as well, to a certain extent. It's interesting because my lens, my conditioning is all about the horse. So I've always been taught about creating the environment to suit the horse and the horse's needs. And when you want to rewild, whilst that lens is there, it's also about creating a new lens to see things through, because this is about the environment, what the environment needs, not what we need to do to the land for the horses. So it's being this constant balancing act to consider the horse's needs, and there's some things that we just can't not do, not at this point anyway, until maybe we have more information or knowledge in how to do things. And so that's kind of informed us to the level that we're at now. So what we make sure we do is we don't put any chemicals on the land. That's the first thing. So we don't spray it, we don't fertilise it. It's just left to do its own thing. The only intervention that we do to the land is coming in with a topper. So we will come in a couple of times a year and cut plants like thistle, like dock, that dominate in a lot of areas, but we will wait until just before they are ready to seed before we knock those down. And that way we're just lessening the amount of seed stock that's going out, because the horses love grazing on the thistle, for example. So we often will leave a patch as well where they can graze on it. The other thing we do this time of year is harrow the fields, and that's because after a long hard winter, particularly when it's been very wet and we're on clay soil, you've got big hoofed animals and they cause a lot of damage, so we end up with all these divots around the fields. So the harrow helps to level them out a little bit. We never get it fully leveled out. Where it's become really compacted as well, it just helps to aerate the soil to encourage new growth to come through. And it also just helps to spread the muck from the horses around a bit, so that can act as more like a natural fertiliser. So Cam's been harrowing throughout the month of April. The weather conditions have been really good, so he got in there earlier than normal this year. And so here is a little bit of how he has done that, what that looks like, and how he's got on. What are we doing, Cameron?
We are driving the tractor.
But why are we driving the tractor?
So we can harrow the fields. It's harrowing time!
Yeah! We've done this field. You know that because it feels quite smooth to drive over.
Okay, I'm going to do this. bit. Bit rutty, eh? Bit rutty. Bit rutty at top field. Yeah, rutty at top field. Now we'll go along.
That's how you can tell
Yeah,
if the
rutty.
field hasn't been harrowed.
Bit rutty.
Because it's really roughy. Spartacus. The adventure is just too big for Spartacus. At the moment they're in parts of the farm where they've got near on 50 acres to roam in, and oh, there comes Honey. I was going to say no one else has come through into this part yet except for Spartacus with me, but Honey is coming. But he is just loving his time out here. It is one big adventure, and you can see he can't get enough of it. There are some ponies over there that aren't to do with us, and I think he's also curious about them, but he's also keen to come with me. You coming? Come on then. You're waiting for me to go first. Okay? I think they want me to go first. I'll lead the way. It's really rutty here. I'll show you. Unfortunately, this is the damage that big hooves do to the land, and that's why we come in and we harrow it. And although it will never be completely flat, it will harrow out a lot of these divots and make it a lot more easier for everyone to walk on, because once it dries up, it becomes very hard to walk over. One of the many uses a tree has for horses: rubbing themselves, itching, to get rid of that old winter coat, particularly this time of year. Just general rubs and itches, or they've got a bit of a sore muscle, maybe they'll be rubbing themselves to kind of massage the muscle. And of course, food. One of the things I love to do at this time of year is go foraging, and our woodlands have got an abundance of wild garlic in them. So me and my little assistant here, Kobe, have come down to forage for some wild garlic. It's Kobe's first foraging adventure, and we're going to then go back and make some wild garlic pesto to have with our pasta tonight. And we'll also make some wild garlic and nettle soup. But I think I'll have to wait till Kobe's asleep before I forage for the nettles. Won't we? Come on then, let's go. Well, I know it looks like I've just made a load of green gunk, but I promise you that soup, that wild garlic and nettle soup, and that wild garlic pesto were absolutely delicious. So if you have an opportunity to forage for wild garlic and nettles, I really recommend it. And you can just Google recipes to use them with. And there's nothing quite like foraging from the land, learning how to identify the plants and then how to cook with them, to connect with your food in this way. It's a really nice way of working with food. So that is us really for the month of April, and we're now heading into May, and I look forward to connecting with you and sharing what we get up to next month. Bye for now, guys. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Bye.